So welcome everybody to our March monthly call. We didn't have one last month, so this is definitely a lot to catch up on, and excited to get into some updates. Let's get started. For today's agenda, we're gonna have an icebreaker. Where's your battery at? Which is basically like kind of checking in on where your energy's at across a few different domains. We're gonna do a Greenpill check-in across the Greenpill Garden and a few of the region protocols we've been building, and then we have the unlock protocol mint. We'll do some breakout rooms where we're gonna focus on diagnosing the problems we're solving, and then we'll have a discussion about that, and then closing thoughts. So let's get started. All right, so the first one is the icebreaker, where's your battery at? And I'm gonna drop the slide, I'm gonna switch over to Slido so that we can do that. So if you go ahead and either scan a QR code or use the link I'm about to drop in the chat, you could join the Slido and put down your battery. So kind of ranking where things are at. Maybe you might be energized across all fours, so that's totally fine. We'll just kind of try to rank them based on how you're feeling. We got a few people so far. We got inspirations at the top, but I think when we get a few more people, it should definitely shift. Jim, if you're just joining, let me send the link again so that I could pin it. So the Slido should be pinned for anybody joining. Okay, inspiration is still at the top after 5 responses. Contribution in second. Seems like personal is doesn't mean it's not that charged, but in comparison to the others, seems to be the least. Does anybody want to share their response and just maybe a couple people who want to share?
You know how you get those weeks where, like, you're motivated, you're contributing, relationships are going well, you're inspired, but you just don't get enough time to get to do the things you need to get done. So that's basically where I'm at the moment is driving around too much in the car too much, listening to too many podcasts. So super inspired, but not really getting down to typing.
Yeah. I've definitely been there. Let's see, we got a couple more. So we're at 8, or is that 6 or 8? Okay, that's 6. Yeah. Cool. So just give it maybe a couple more minutes. I know some people are still joining in. Then we'll get into the agenda. Anybody else want to share what they put down for their batteries and just how they're feeling this month in general? You can also leave a comment in the chat too if you want. Cool. All right. Let's get into the rest of the call. So comment. Okay, thumbs up. So I'll probably, and I think I know Matt's got the baby, so I think I'll have to handle a lot of this section. But we'd love to pass it around to our fellow stewards, especially for things like the Greenpill Garden, some of the strategy discussions, just to get thoughts and reflections. But yeah, we're gonna go through a few updates that things that have been happening. So the first thing is the Greenpill Garden. I think many are probably aware of this incubation, I guess, program that we've been doing with Greenpill stewards to have more coherent strategies and diagnosis to the problems we're solving, to then be able to coherently have actions and outcomes that we could clearly track towards that. And we want to really give a big shout out to Dirgados, who did the first set of workshops focused on theory of change and good strategy, bad strategy, and a few other things like Cynefin, which I'll go to the slides right now just so you guys could get a little visual. It's not just me rambling at you guys. So if we go here. So Dirgados, this is Dirgados right here, lover of cats. Yeah, we did the presentation there. And just to kind of go to some specific slides, we really started focusing on theory of change. So what are the problems we're solving, and kind of working backwards from longer term changes to short term, to then what outputs come from that, what activities are used to create the set outputs, and then of course what are the inputs into creating the outputs. And I think this has been very helpful. I know a lot of chapters are still learning and still applying these things to their work. So it's definitely iterative. It's not a one-time thing. But I think, I could, speaking for myself, it's been really a great experience. And I feel for where we are in this space and the need for maturity to get more opportunities, I think this has been a great step forward. So I'd love to, anybody who's, let's see who we got on the call. Anybody who's participated in the season, would you guys like to share maybe some quick words about how it's affected you, thoughts, feedback? Yeah, we'll love that. So we got a few people here that have been on the calls. Maybe Hino, Swift, you guys have been pretty consistently on calls. You guys have any thoughts? Would love to hear. Totally understand if you guys are shy, don't want to talk, or you might be dealing with some stuff, so all good.
Hi, Alpha. Yep, I'm here. So, anything you would like to? What is the question? Sorry, could you ask again?
Yeah, I'm just asking how the Greenpill Garden's gone for you. That's just reflecting on it real quick.
Get it. So I think that would be good, because previously we are working like a network, but we didn't have the consolidated platforms to know each other more better. Each chapter will focusing on what they are doing by themselves. So Greenpill Garden can gather every chapter together, and especially the good one we got the Green Grid, and then right now we can see each other on the same platform. So I think we can connect more deeper and understand what we are doing each at the same time. And that is why I wanted to share. The social networking is stronger again.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. And Matt, there you go.
Yeah, I felt like the biggest thing was that shared language, like really structurally sound shared language that we can actually like effectively operate within our own initiatives, but then kind of all bring it back together for the network. So I feel like that was the biggest thing. And then we had the workshop / presentation the other day, and I think now we're in inventory stage. So inventory within Greenpill, and then I think also inventory within Refi DAO and Bloom Network, and it's all kind of interconnected. We're figuring our own thing out, but also trying to figure out how we can better align with them too.
I see we got a hand raise. I'm not sure to say Wara, or is that, did I say it right?
Why yes.
Okay,
Hi.
Hello.
I want to share when you finish what we are doing in Refi Colombia, if it's possible.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think later on the call, that'll be the best time to share. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I see that it came in with my presentation on the screen. So I wonder if there's something I should say about that.
Oh, yeah. I'm just telling people what we've been doing for the past couple months. So yeah, welcome to us. Yeah. I was just talking about the garden. What we've been learning. Trying to think. Yeah, I guess, yeah, since well, I didn't know you had joined, so it would be great to have. I know you just joined, to put you on the spot. But basically, what have been your reflection with the Greenpill Garden, being kind of, the mentor and the teacher? Yeah, like how's that experience been for you?
Yeah, well, I can see that first thing, it seems like there's I can tell in each of the people who are participating, there's a kind of maturity in your approach and a broader understanding of how to go about applying all of these things. And I actually think you can tell the difference operationally too, just based on what I've seen. Maybe you guys have noticed, maybe you haven't, but it's a pretty big shift now from what I can see. So, the Matt and Afo and Koi and others are probably best positioned to make that determination, but I've noticed it individually and collectively between you. So that is actually a really good sign for me as somebody who, is trying to, my own theory of change, is sort of based on how well you guys take that seriously and move that forward. And I'm quite proud to see how you've been working within those things. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's been great having you as a teacher and a mentor, and yeah, it's definitely has shifted things in the right way. And then that kind of ties into network strategy a bit. We've started to have these strategy syncs monthly with a walkie, that start to align more on kind of the different aspects of Greenpill, from the podcast to the network to the chapters to the guilds, etc. And we're still kind of going through that process. I wouldn't say like there's any strong action items right now, but hopefully we start to see more synergy with the podcast and the network, and kind of creating a more virtuous flywheel between those two going forward. Maybe I see Koi joined and Nansel, or who else joined? Nansel joined. But with Koi, I'm not sure if you're able to talk. Any few words you want to say on network strategy?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Sorry for coming late. I was in a call with my local chapter. I'm from Greenpill, Brazil. Nice to meet those who doesn't know me yet. Let me show my screen here. Yeah. Hi, everyone. So yeah, on the network, I'm glad to be here with you all. I think on the network strategy, what we have is that we need a good diagnostic of the problems we have, and like this became the focus of the Greenpill Garden at the end. Like, we could identify and learn a lot. I think language, our shared language, is helping a lot. So now we can really recognize things and name them and find solutions. So it's been a great process, to be honest. And I think the diagnostic, it is something that will kind of be a synthesis of our process. So this is our strategy. We want to finish this season with collecting data, the data we need to kind of do a good synthesis at the end, but we already have a lot because we did a lot of facilitation process like this, like we are doing today. And yeah, so this is the process we expect to do. Me, Matt, and Afu, we still need to meet, but we are always kind of aligning asynchronously too. So that's the overview on the strategy. I hope we can get this crux very aligned with everyone, and we can have a sense-making process that makes sense for everyone too.
Nice. And I'm going to keep the mic on you because we're going to segue to the region protocols.
Cool.
Maybe we can talk about region reservoir, where it's at. I know we did the first Weebly workshop to kind of start getting towards setting up that the commitment pools. But yeah, we'd love if you could share any things there too.
Yeah, sure. Most of the work I'm thinking for the region reservoir is deeply connected with the work I'm doing for Greenpill Brazil. So I'm trying to bring the same patterns, the same like concepts, because the domains that we are exploring are the same. We started following like the book, so we are aligned on the macro aspect, like of the meta crisis and like the coordination aspect. We are also studying all of that. So this connects with the podcast and all the content that the podcast is kind of spreading. But we are doing this all in Portuguese. It would be nice to do this also in English and have like the type of resources like I suggested another day that we could use Charmverse in a way that is very open-ended, and we could like receive different ideas and stuff. So in the regional reservoir, I expect to improve our usage on Charmverse, especially on databases and forms, having more forms there. And on Sarafu, I think this is something that is very interesting because we have so many possibilities. Like we can be stewards of pools and have our own tokens that are issued based on partnerships. Like we have a food provider in a specific region, we can have a token that is backing this relation, and they can accept our token for a local credit or things like that. But at the same time, we can do things like pool resources, like knowledge, and we can, if we want to organize a party or something like that, we can use this as a temporary pool or things like that. So a lot of possibilities. So I just want to do something simple to start, like just capturing like some skills and services we can provide for people, and also like we can register, do kind of an accountability of the partnerships we have for the garden season, like Gravity and Riri and things like that. So this will be our first interaction there.
Nice, thanks, Corey. So I'm trying to open up Pizza DAO's website. I don't think Anastasia's here, but we have another protocol called the Greenpill IRL protocol. My computer's a bit slow, so maybe because I have this graph open. Let me close that. Okay, yeah, that was slowing things down. So I'll just kind of quickly mention we have a few pizza boxes we got last year that we're going to look to give to chapters and stewards to do events in Q2. So Anastasia will be kind of putting together kind of the structure around that. So just want to kind of shout that out, something to look forward to. And then we're going to talk more about this in general. We also Artisens, which let's see if their website will load me. No, sometimes their website can be slow. So I have Artisens, which has a few funds that are available. Looks like the site's not fully loading, but you can see generally some of the information here. I'm going to try to go to the Greenpill Fund. So I'm just opening up. So within Greenpill, we have a fund for Greenpill aligned communities and our students to this is the Greenpill Network project. So yeah, things like everything's loading slowly. Let me see if I can find it. And maybe Swift, if you want to speak to this very quickly on Artisans and just yeah, kind of the season, why it's important, just anything you want to share there.
Right, thank you. Last season, which is season 5, Artisans aim at raised $1 million for different public goods project right there. So it achieved that goal. So right now is season 6. So everyone is still open for a try on this platform. So one of the funding pool right there is a Greenpill for regenerative gathering. We are collaborating with Artizen, so therefore the final funding pool at this moment is 22K, which is supporting the local chapters and our partner or our collaborators projects can apply, which is you can get a funding to support the in real life event related to regenerative. So one of the important thing is that when you create a profile on Artizen, you can apply more than one funding pool right there. So therefore, when, for example, when you are in real life event, which is in geographical focusing in Africa, then you should jump into another funding pool, which is supports the Africa development. And your topic related to solar pump, and then there will be good fees that your project can also apply the solar pump funding pool as well. So which means that Artizen is funding is a public good fundraising platform, a little bit different from what we met before. For example, Autumn, GeekCon, etc. There are diversity. So from music to movie creation to very news updates, AI related funding pool, and to the virtual and back to the in real life happening event, and from different chapters and gender focusing, and even the environmental protection, different topics you can go through about that. There is over 20 different funding pool to support different public goods. So that's why we aim to explore a little bit more, because Greenpill Network is one of things trying to turn DGen becomes a region, and you will find a lot of very similar topic right there, which is a fit for your local chapter, and as well as a fit for the if you are the partner with Greenpill, and I guess you may as well to get some funding pool right there. So some is supporting for the undergraduate students, some supporting the female education in Africa. There are a lot of things you need to go through it.
Awesome, thanks, Swift. Yeah, this is a good opportunity for us to have like a nice windfall towards the summer. So we're definitely gonna do as much as we can and encourage others to participate. So some quick ones so we can get into the breakout rooms and start chatting and hearing updates from the likes of like Refi Columbia and others. So we have the DAO fund. It's back up. Of course, they're focused on like security type initiatives, but I think even within that, I had a great conversation with one of the, I guess, the BD for Giveth. And there's a lot of potential for our communities to participate in showing the signal, kind of signaling to what things need to be more secure, that we're using as users that aren't as secure. We're seeing issues, wallet hacks, different things, etc. So I think, not to say we're going to get funding to do anything, but we will be able to participate and have a voice in this, which I think is pretty powerful. Especially if we're helping to drive forward a more secure, safe Ethereum. Then we have Arbitrum grants. Within our within our ecosystem, there hasn't been as much funding, and I want to highlight Arbitrum because they're one of the few grant systems that have across. They're doing stuff for education, stuff for new product building ideas. We got a grant for green goods that has helped us been able to really move it along. So just want to kind of highlight that in this time where there isn't as much funding. Arbitrum is one of the few, and their grants are in USDC and stable. So I think very good opportunities for chapters. Like you could apply to do events where you kind of use Arbitrum, whether you mint your NFTs. And the nice thing is that's really, I think, helps with future applications, that if you're using goods, which is deployed on Arbitrum, you can kind of tie that into your proposal. Like, we're going to be using an application that it's going to be a testing on Arbitrum, and we're going to be talking about Arbitrum and its use cases, for example. And yeah, speaking on green goods, this is like a big one. But we launched this a couple weeks ago in late February. So yeah, we have B1 of green goods, which enables a few things, actually a lot of things. So if I go to the admin dashboard real quick, just to kind of, won't get too into the weeds, but in essence, green goods enables, let's say, your local initiative, your chapter. You can create your garden for the work you're doing, and then basically it integrates with Karma Gap for impact reporting. So you're able to use a PWA to capture different actions. We're focused on 4 areas, solar, waste management, agroforestry, and Ethereum education. And you could explore the website, you can see assessments, see the different actions we support that I was just mentioning, from solar, agro, education, and waste. The endowment part is probably like one of the new wrinkles that really makes green goods powerful, because it connects capital formation to impact reporting. So basically every garden has 2 vaults where they could put funds in and then have the yield go towards their garden and towards their, whether it's a cookie jar to pay for payouts, so pay for people doing work, or for hypercerts, impact certificates that you mint as you do work over across the season. And there's a lot more to get into, but yeah, we'll pause there, and definitely we'll be doing some calls, like a builder space to close the month, where we'll talk more about green goods. And yeah, we'll be doing a marketing push. Plenty of people on this call are working on that right now, so there'll be plenty of updates and ways to get involved. So cool. Let's bring it back. Let's do some quick NFT minting. So as many know, we traditionally always use POAP to do our NFTs. POAP is no longer shutting down. That's very, very sad for us. We've always loved POAP. We used it for everything. We also love Unlock Protocol, and we've been getting closer via Green Goods to do some partnerships and collaborations. Yes, it's unfortunate with POAP, but this also is like a good opportunity to start using Unlock a lot more, and make it like our kind of key platform for NFT minting and badges and things of that nature. So let me drop a link here. It's a little bit different than POAPs. Of course, it's like not as much scanning. I think here you just kind of enter your email, your address, and that's it. So I think going forward, we currently use Luma to put events, but Unlock kind of does both, where you create the event there, then you can share it, and then people also get the NFT by registering. So I don't know if Matt, I don't know what thoughts you have on this, but maybe we go to Unlock for events. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, can do a half-assed poll amongst the stewards, but as long as whatever the majority wants to do, I'm down with that. But I'd be in favor of really embracing Unlock.
Yeah, we'll do a poll for that. And maybe, we've been doing only polls with stewards. This might be like, we need to start doing some polls with the community. So this might be a good one to get some input. But yeah, either way, let's get into, so yeah, go ahead, get that Unlock NFT, and let's get into the breakout rooms.
Just another quick thing. You can condense your Luma invite and then this minting of the POAP thing into a single step with Unlock, where you could not with the POAP side of the thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, we'll be good to catch up. We'll have the recording, so we'll talk soon. All right, I'm just gonna be setting up our breakout rooms right now. So I'm just gonna see who we have on the call. How many do we need? I think we need about 6 or 7. 21 people, so we'll do 6. Shuffle people around. Okay. Okay, they're disconnected. Okay, these people are on the call. Okay. All right, just bear with me. I'm just moving you guys into rooms. So we're going to be doing breakout room sessions where we're going to talk about diagnosing the problems we're solving. So everybody will have like a few minutes to talk about, what problems are they solving, whether digital, physical, across all different domains. And then we'll have a group discussion where we'll come back, share some thoughts, use Slido to kind of share some of the things we'll discuss. And then that's where like Refi Colombia and others could share what they're working on and the problems they're solving in the community. So for this, let me just figure out these rooms. Okay, see, this is my first time doing these rooms, so bear with me, I'm a little slow. Okay, we got 4 there, we got 4 here, we got 5 here. Okay, one's a note taker, so that's fine. And then it's just me left in the main room. I guess I'll join. Okay, I think we'll keep you guys on the main call. All right, so the room's gonna be opening up in a sec. Hopefully you guys see them. So go ahead and join the room. Cool, I see some people joining the rooms. If you're having issues,
I don't know how to do breakout rooms in this.
I kept you in the main room, so a few of us are just staying here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think, me, you, Natsel, and Kit. Oh no, Kit's in this room. I think it's me, you, and Natsel in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So we got Heart of New Earth, which is that's a person. Hey, Heart of New Earth. I don't see. Yeah, you're in this room. You're with us. We're all staying here. We get the nice room. We get the big room. With the slides. But yeah, so I know we got you here, Durgana. So this is we're doing diagnosis, like a quick diagnosis of things.
Yeah. So what problem are we looking at here, or what's the problem that people want to raise?
Yeah, some of this might be broken records. I guess my diagnosis, I guess it hasn't changed. The problem I've seen has been the lack of a strong impact reporting that connects to capital formation. And I think I won't say we've solved it, but we are definitely on that path towards
Well, and I'm making a protocol that solves it. So
right, and so we're converging there.
Yeah, totally. By the way, I've made an incredible amount of progress on that.
Nice.
So I hope I can show you guys some more stuff soon.
Yeah, we need a good operator call this week or next would be good. But yeah, like that's the problem, just for others who are here. The problem solving. So basically this is kind of just diagnosing within like your initiative, your community, the projects you're working on. Like what are you solving? What is the problem? And kind of diagnosing it in the sense of, what are the things that you're seeing? Like, for example, what I provided, like impact reporting for the past few years, I've clearly seen the lack of evidence and kind of presence that people provide to the things they're doing affect them negatively when it comes to getting opportunities, while others that put a lot of fluff and like theater and stuff would get funds. So like to me that's a big issue, and I think hopefully we could help solve some of that. But yeah, I'll pause there. Let's see, we got Yusil. Maybe you could talk about Yusil. We'd love to hear what problems you're solving. What have you diagnosed, if anything? Yeah. If you're there, Yusil.
Hey, I'll go if
Yeah, go for it.
because it's actually very similar to what we're doing. So one of the things that I've created is a platform where it holds all coalition. It's a coalition first platform. So a lot of times, funders will give to one organization and then have that organization be the fiscal organization, fiscally responsible group, as well as
like Protocol Guild.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the blockchain versions of all this as much, because I'm in the field, so
Right.
Love
I mean, I'm just saying that
firsthand.
maybe the most successful version of that in Web3 is Protocol Guild. So
GILL.
Yeah. Protocol Guild,
Guild.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that's
And
the thing you
so
can look up.
when you talk about blockchain, like most people in the nonprofit and philanthropic world will shut down, like their brains just kind of check out. And so I'm like, how do we do this in a way where we can use the smart contracts on the back end, but it's really running on the front end. It's actually very easy for nonprofits and foundations to understand, because that's a huge gap that I see in the nonprofit world. And I'm not talking about the large, over $50 million organizations, and even the $50 million organizations have challenges with this. So when we're talking about, how do you get the coalitions working together in an equitable form where leadership is distributed, and then being able to track all of the deliverables and stuff using AI on the back end to mitigate risk. And so we've created what we're calling regenerative governance exchange. And we're piloting this directly with municipal governments, rural areas, both in Japan and in Latin America. And right now I'm in the midst of writing grants and everything in that, so that we could fund the whole process to make sure that we can build out a verifiable piece of that. Because everything else in terms of getting the funding in, locking the funding so that even the funders can't tinker around with it without the approval of the coalition. There are certain things that, in terms of power dynamics, that at least in the United States, so much research has gone into what is wrong with the philanthropic world. And so when I look at that, and in the last 25 years of being in the nonprofit industry, nothing has really changed, because there's no incentive and there's also no tools for them to really use. And so this would be able to really get them to participate in the development, as well as holding themselves accountable. So it's an accountability, transparency, and enforcement mechanism that we're building in.
Nice. Yeah. We'd love for you to share any links and details to learn more. And I think,
yeah, it's very MVP basic prototype right now. And so we're going to be building out I just finished phase 1. And so we're doing phase 2 and then phase 3. And phase 3 is where we're going to start building in the blockchain aspect of it.
Okay. And then I just want to also highlight there's existing tools, I guess, maybe selfless plug with Green Goods, which I mentioned a little bit earlier if you were here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fully abstracted. People sign in with their pass keys, or could sign in with Google or an email. So to them, they wouldn't even know it's using blockchains. So yeah, I think we're getting there. And I think I also want to not be too hard on ourselves on the blockchain sense, because we had a lot of hurdles with regulation, legislation, and different things that I don't think a lot of this stuff is viable few years ago.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is a moment for sure, and especially with AI too.
Right, right.
Juggernaut?
Yeah. So just FYI, can I call you something other than Hart, or is that your?
Oh,
actual
sorry.
name?
That's like Google just signed me like that.
Okay, yeah.
It's Junko.
Hi, Junko.
I've been on these calls like earlier, like way earlier.
So
I
I'm
saw you
actually
earlier, Junko. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
actually building an entire protocol to do 100% of the things you just mentioned.
All right.
Um, yeah.
We should
So
talk.
yeah, and the thing is what's neat about it is it's the way that I'm thinking about it is first there was proof of work, then there was proof of stake, and now there's going to be this, which is proof of coordination. And so
Uh-huh.
it has all of this other stuff underneath it, which has, you know, attribution and you know, I mean, just so many things. Basically, everything that you described
Yeah.
is there. And so I'm actually currently in the middle of looking for, you know, I mean, I'm still designing the entire thing, but one of the primary things that I need is Genesis cohorts, right? People to design parts of this. So, you know, to bring in, you know, to say, how do I actually test this against, you know, certain use cases, so we can stress test some of my assumptions and all of this other stuff too. So I am hoping that there's a lot of things that are converging on this right now.
Mhm.
So in the Web 2 space, there's a thing called DTOs, which is digital twin of organization, which is the problem with that is that it tends to function as a governance capture mechanism because of the, you know, the nature of the economic structure that
Mhm.
exists, you know,
Right.
outside. But what this will do is actually basically be just a far more neutral way of doing that. Instead of governance capture, you have a relatively neutral, you know, governance space that can exist in between things like that, and it would automatically be digital twin compliant from you know the jump. So if you're trying to do that kind of work, then it. But yeah, I would love to see what you guys are doing and make sure that you know, the kind of stuff that I'm putting into this maps to the stuff that you've had real world experience with. And so yeah, dirthouse@mac.com. I'm helping these guys a lot in different ways, but I have a direct interest in the fact that I've, you know, I really need to get this Genesis cohort thing working. And since there's a lot of converging stuff happening now, I have a lot of urgency to get this thing done and get the Genesis cohort up and running. I am hoping that you know, Greenpill will be a part of that Genesis cohort too, because what it'll do is it'll actually provide a blockchain floor for all of that data. So you don't have anything sitting in a database somewhere that's owned by somebody or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
all just, so the whole idea is that I'll use and ingest multiple ingestion surfaces, including the blockchain itself, then make evaluations about the nature of the coordination thing that's happening, and then output all those things back into the blockchain. So you end up kind of building like this developmental, so it's not just like workflow things like did this get done or that get done. It's also, you know, the whole yeah, the whole surface of the multifaceted parts of this, of which there are many, and I can't really go into all of them right now. But you, as a person who's gone through this design process, probably know more
Yeah,
than
I
most
mean,
people about that.
I am using my rage as my gold.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I worked in this thing called Gravity DAO that I founded, and just got to witness how do you mess up coordination like in every possible imaginable way, right, across so
Yeah.
many different kinds of organizations. And I just kept writing and writing and writing. I'm like, one day, when is someone going to jump up and fix this? And then, you know, like a few weeks ago, I decided, you know, I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've made a lot of progress on it. And the other nice thing is that my day job is I work at Octant, which is a public goods funding mechanism.
Mhm.
So one of the things that this is kind of a side effect to do is that there are numerous intractable problems that exist because we don't have a data set from which to work. So one of the biggest use cases that I discovered was the music industry. So attribution in the music industry is a giant nightmare that's been unsolved for 100 years. And so I actually have solved that problem. And so,
Nice.
you know, so like, yeah, there's just a lot of different layers to this. And so, yeah, so I'm hoping that, you know, that'll maybe motivate you to want to participate more. But yeah, let's try to stay in contact.
For sure. Yeah, because we're planning on piloting this definitely in the fall and with a municipality in Japan that's ready to deploy. And then the other one in Latin America is in Paraguay with 6 municipalities that are working together. And they've been building out the collaboration of sharing resources over the last 5 years. And they're finally like ready to sort of, you know, work together more concertedly. So,
well, and there's another kind of project called CitySync, which is actually taking a lot of the things that you're talking about, and hopefully my thing will provide a substrate to their work. So they're doing a pilot thing with I think somebody in South America, but also with the city of Berkeley, because the problem that exists for a lot of especially American municipalities is that they're almost always entirely in the red all the time. And so the thing that you're describing actually has a lot of, so if you look up my friend Nate, he's got a group called City/Sync. They're on X, and they have regular meetings and everything. So I think there's an awful lot of overlap between, you know, the impact measurement thing that Greenpill's doing, the work that you're doing, the CitySync thing, and protocol that I'm making. There's an awful lot of you know, sort of use cases that are all coalescing in one thing. And because I'm in the middle of all this, I'm trying to build a substrate to support the data layer of all of that, and then also give some ability for people to get insights as to common, you know, things that can happen and so on. And it's also based in a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about: strategy, theory of change, balanced scorecard. So
yeah, sorry to just jump in here because I'm just looking at the time, and I gotta end the breakout rooms in like a minute. And yeah, we're probably gonna have to go over. Nansel, do you have anything quick you want to share for the problems? You know, I know I kind of have an idea of things you might share, but I'd love to hear from you if you want to.
Yeah, sure, Afo. I mean, right now it's everything kind of leads to tasks, and kind of like I have so much to take in from the call yesterday and listening to the conversation and all. I think right now is the time, and I'm just glad that we're having like this space to always talk about. But yeah, I think we are definitely well positioned, mostly even in Africa. Of course, starting from Nigeria, being the largest, of course, having some of these initiatives like helping others to actually find a food to be able to build, sustain, and help other communities as well is definitely one. I wouldn't say really we're in looking at the problem, but then more so like finding the solution. And then definitely having initiatives like TAS, having communities like Greenpill, and all of these calls we have definitely help in strengthening these problems and then helping us create solutions for them. So yeah, I'm mostly excited, of course, for green goods too. All of those things just kind of tied together, and they're just like kind of interconnected and all of that. So yeah, I'm excited to see how everything go and how we help each other get to the goal and fix some of these problems and on the way. But yeah, that's just my thoughts.
Nice. Yeah, thanks. And see, we got Emmanuel here. Just kind of snuck in. I didn't even see you. If you want to quickly share some of the problems you're solving, then we're going to end the breakout rooms. And you could also text it in too, if that's easier. Okay, let me end the breakout rooms. Okay. Cool. I'll make sure to get that to Durgadas. Junko. Where are you calling from, Junko? Where are you at?
Tucson, Arizona.
Okay, nice. We're both West Coast.
Yeah, and we're on Pacific time right now after the daylights kicked in for everybody else.
Oh yeah, you guys, yeah. Yeah, isn't there like a city like in Arizona where it's like I forgot what, like, yeah, they have different times or something like
I
that.
think that's a different state, but we're like,
Okay.
yeah, we don't move, so we're like either on Mountain Time or then Pacific Time. But now we're on
Yeah.
Pacific Time. Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, if you could send that over, that'd be awesome. All right, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you. Talk soon. Let me make sure I get that to Douglas right now. And welcome everybody that's rejoining the main room. Hope you guys had good discussions. And yeah, just you know, hope everybody had a good time. Let me get the last Slido up and then we could close things off. All right, got the Slido. I'll drop a link again. So let's see who's got back in the call. Let's see all the beautiful faces, people. All right, guys. So welcome back to the main room. We got, yeah, that's like not too much time here. If anybody has to drop off, definitely understand. Appreciate you for joining and staying this long. But for anybody that wants to stay on a little bit longer, like 5 to 10 minutes, we could kind of have a group discussion on problems that were shared. Maybe first we'll go to Wara with WeFi Colombia to share the problems that you're solving and why they matter, and maybe you could get some updates as well. So yeah, and anybody else too who would like to share.
Okay, thank you very much. So I can share my screen.
Go for it.
Okay. You're seeing my screen, right? Okay, so I want to talk about one of our biggest program right now. Is a stablecoin subsidy infrastructure. So here in Colombia, we have like many people that don't have access to safe or digital finance tools to support basic needs. So we designed a platform with a wallet to help these communities that are not retailable, transparent, or scalable. So our solution that with the wallet of Tucop, it's a wallet that works, in the Celo networks. We provide like weekly digital subsidies in COP M, that is a stable coin, through a simple and open scalable systems. So how we work, we collaborate with local partners in the community. In Refi Colombia, we have like 5 local nodes. We have Refi Atlántico, Refi Bogotá, Refi Medellín, Refi Cartagena, and Refi Amazonas. So these local nodes like helps to get involved some people that don't know how to use like a wallet or this platform. So how it works, like it's very, very easy, very simple. The users just log into the wallet, into COP, and they claim weekly the subsidies. Is like $2. There are 10,000 pesos, like $2, and they learn how to interact with Web3. It's very easy. Also, they can swap tokens, so the users learn how to claim the subsidy, use their wallets, and do like swaps, funds between dollar and Colombian pesos. Also, we have here in Gastar an off-ramp money. So also we provide like an off-ramp with Bookspace is a platform. So the beneficiaries can use their funds like in the real economy in Colombia. So they can pay and look at merch using the bank account or Neki, that it's something similar with a QR code, transfer money to another user. So it's very easy to use, and it makes like easy to of the participants convert the funds and interact with the platform. This is very beautiful for us because it's the impact that we are creating. So we see like transforming livings by providing this access to digital finance, teaching Web3 skills. These are 3 stories, very beautiful. So the first one is like a single mother celebrate their children birthday with this subsidy. So it's very beautiful for us. Here also another mother can celebrate their children birthday. And here, another beneficiary shared with us that with the subsidy, a family can do like a travel in vacations to the end of the year. So I think this is the real impact that we are doing from the people here in Colombia. And it motivates to us like to still growing and yeah, grow more. How it works, they communicated with the beneficiaries. We have a very easy WhatsApp groups. So all the people like share and they tell us, oh, I already claimed the subsidy, or I have some trouble. So every day, so they share a screenshot when they claim the subsidy here. They say like, you already claimed your subsidy. And they report when they have successfully claimed this. So these channels like help us to monitor the program in real time and see all the stuff that are happening to the program. Sorry, this is so how this is what the form like we teach to the people that there are people that don't know how to use these tools, but we do like tutorials. So we teach them how to use the platform like step by step, so it's more easy to the people how to know to do that. And this is our programs. This number already changed. We have 65 right now beneficiaries. You can see here the public dashboard also. So we like to share like the transparency of the program here. We are an open infrastructure, so all the people can like replicate and see like how it works. And we are planning like the expansion plan. So we want to have more just than 61 or 65 beneficiaries over this across multiple regions of Colombia, because we are not in all Colombia, but this is what we want. This is our team. And well, I'm gonna share here the public dashboard is here. So you can, I also gonna share this in the chat. If you wanna see. So this is the funds that we already distribute. This is the people that we have right now, and you can see here all the progress. And also in Refi Colombia, we like to do a lot of activities. So each node like realize activities in the region. So this year we do like 9 total activity to the Refi Cartagena, that is in the coast of the Colombian, and Refi Amazonas, that is in the south of Colombia. All the activities you can see that we are doing in here in the calendar of Refi Colombia. You can, if you want, you can follow us in our social networks. Refi Cartagena do Guardian of the Lives, a reforestation in mangroves that was very beautiful. In Amazon, we also do like a reforestation with native roots, urban garden, a conversation with the coffee, like more like workshops. So yeah, that's what we are doing. Also, Refi Medellin do a beautiful activity with the children's of Medellin, of a comuna. So, well, that's what we are doing here in Colombia. If you want to help us with maybe the program subsidy, here you can donate. And it's very easy. You only have to connect the wallet, so it helps us like a lot. So yeah, that's what we are doing in Colombia. I don't know if you want some questions.
Yeah, that's that was a lot. I'm gonna look at the dashboard and dive in more. Yeah, that looks awesome. And yeah, I know Teresa's on the team. I know I talked to her a little bit. But yeah, I think when it comes to supporting, I feel like that we could find some synergies there. Maybe a more one-on-one call, like where you could kind of like walk us through the app and stuff would be the next step.
Thank you very much.
And I see Alwyn put a response here. Thank you, Alwyn. So Greenpill Cape Town aims to solve the problem of social dignity by providing sustainable and reliable payments to economically at-risk members of the high-density community named Virgrad near Musenberg. The income is paid for impact deeds related to the waste recycling value chain. Nice. Alwyn, are you still here? Typically, I know Alwyn has to hop.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I've got to go in a minute or two, yeah. The name of that area is Vrijgrond.
Okay.
It's what free ground, free
Okay,
area.
free ground. I like it. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Afo. Thanks, everybody. Keep well. Ciao, ciao.
See you. Bye-bye. Love Alvin. Good man. Cool. Anybody else want to share? Like, I kind of put something on the Slido to talk about the problem they're solving. Or you could just, blurt it out. And we could have one more person, or then we could close things off.
And just share a quick thing. Now I'm making a bottle, so I'm once again not sitting at my desk. But yeah, I think the core problem that we're solving within Greenpill New York City right now is really just sustainable funding flows for regenerative initiatives. That's basically that's the thing. Besides just like creating a community space for people to kind of come and meet up every once in a while. So yeah, I mean, Octane Vaults. We're setting up an Octane Vault. To right now, the program is going to be funding Essential Park, which is kind of like a lot of the bread co-op folks, and they are doing stuff with a couple mutual aid organizations and developing mutual aid software. So we got 2 vaults, 1 stablecoin, 1 ETH, and yeah, just taking all the funds that we've raised previously and throwing them in the vaults and directing the yields towards them and just helping them kind of just keep plugging along. So we're trying to build stuff that's not just going to fade. It's not like, oh, okay, we generated impact and now we're shutting down. Like, we're trying to create things and build things that are going to keep going on for many, many years.
Nice. And are you still doing the Red Hook stuff? Is that
No, it's more I can't remember the name of it. It's not Red Hook Mutual Aid. It's it starts with an A. Yeah, even if I was looking at it, I'd probably butcher the pronunciation. So yeah, it's starting off very focused on just that, but as usual, if we can successfully bring in, tens of thousands of dollars into the vault, then it'll be about kind of expanding from there.
okay? Nice, good stuff. I'm typing one up right now to send. I guess mine's just really short, but yeah, like then it all ties to green goods a lot for me. But really solving the gap between impact reporting and capital formation for regenerative initiatives using Ethereum that are focused on education, waste management, agroforestry, and solar hubs. Which is I'm just repeating green good stuff, but it tracks. And I see somebody here put meta crisis affects everyone because we are at the limit. I'm not sure if that was Coy or somebody else. Mutual
Yeah, it was me.
Okay.
I put this one. Yeah, I think this is related with the quirks that Owaki pointed when the Greenpill movement started. There is also like a past on the Greenpill term, like that comes from the cypherpunk movement. The the cypherpunk movement itself, what's called like indigo pills. So this green pill stuff, it's kind of points to already to a different direction. So, and I think the meta crisis is something that synthesizes the problems. I think what Owaki tried to do is kind of personalize the coordination failures in Moloch, right? But like we don't need to keep using the same personification like the Moloch stuff. But I think the meta crisis and the third attractor thing, I think this is very connected with what we are trying to build. So yeah, I think it makes sense to bring this back.
Yeah. Nice. And then we have mutual coordination problem. Michael Bowens.
Yeah, he left the call, but he left this resource, and I think this is a pretty good resource for what we are trying to solve. There is a lot of information there, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll definitely check this out. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's do some closing reminders, and then let people. We got plenty of work to do, and things happening, so don't want to hold everybody too long. So we mentioned Artizen funding already, but just going to reiterate that. Participate if you can, whether that's donating, creating a project to get funded. I think it's a good opportunity for a lot of the work we're doing, and to get exposure to a lot of other creative things being done by others. Dev Guild has a public good staking article dropping tomorrow. That one's going to be kind of covering the public good staking protocol, often faults to a degree, Obol, Lido. So all the good stuff that's really the bedrock of Ethereum and what enables us to build all these protocols and coordination systems we're now building. So if you're interested in that, we'd love to get you to read it. It's going to be an easy read, not too complex. So we'd love to get thoughts and feedback and on that. Web3 tooling and refi series has fully been released. I think the last one they month the call was being dropped. So that's something that you could read on, I believe, Carbon Copy. And is it on a paragraph for the writers still?
No, it's just on Carbon Copy. There's like a specific setting. Yeah.
So it's on Carbon Copy, and you could check it out there. And then region community events. Don't really have like too many specifics here. Some things are still being announced, but Region Commons, I know we'll be doing a monthly call probably next month. Maybe Region Coordination is doing something as well. Region Network, and there's these burgeoning region tech things and like Network Nation calls that are just like kind of these larger groups that are bringing together people from like the D-Web and just different spaces of, I guess, the digital Web3 world are kind of converging. So we'll be sharing any of those on our Luma and then Telegram and our channels. Anything missing, Matt? Because I know I didn't get any of your input for this.
Probably. I haven't had time to like sift through the news and I love doing that too. Nothing too concrete's coming to mind. The synthesis hackathon's going on right now. I know Octant has a bunch of bounties, so I feel like that might be relevant for some folks here. Nothing else to add. Thanks for running the show today.
Cool. All right, guys. I don't even think there's a closing slide with this, so I'll just go back to the intro. So thanks everybody for joining. We didn't have this one last month, so it's nice to be able to get it back on the saddle. And we had a good turnout. Around like 20 of us joined, and hopefully everybody enjoyed the breakout rooms. There is a Slido question. I'll drop this one last one, which is more of just a feedback on how we did. So we'd love to. Let me go here. So if you could quickly give us a score on how we did and how we're doing, we really appreciate that. It helps us to know we're doing the right thing. And I'll drop a link here too, direct link for that. So just go ahead and give a rating. I'll give us a 9 stars. You know, I rarely give out 10. So cool, solid.
Yes, and then while people are doing that, Koi, I shared your Telegram with Maxim. I feel like you guys should jam about Sarafu. I was like, it's you two and Antonio are like the Sarafu wizards. So yeah, I'm sure you guys will have an awesome conversation there. And then also just double tapping on what I said before. You know, we're very much focused on like figuring out better structures and protocols within Greenpill. We've been doing that for a while. We still need to keep doing that. But you know, in on the back burner to an extent is the Greenpill, Refi DAO, Bloom Network. You know, bringing that all together. So just saying it again, especially with Lyra here and with Maxim here, like, you know, that it's something that that I think that'll eventually move into the is the forefront? Yeah, into the forefront. And yeah, it's I think at some points this year we're gonna all be much more aligned, and yeah, I'm just excited about it because we're all there's not, the differences are so minuscule. It's like, yeah, the resources, both financial and intellectual and opportunity wise, you know, all the different resources, all the different capitals, like I think we'll all do a slightly better job of taking care of each other and sharing with each other a bit. So we shall see, but just going to keep hammering that one.
Nice, and we'll end on that. So everybody have a good rest of your day and the rest of your week, and we'll see you next month. Peace.
Friday.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Have a
Thank
nice
you,
day.
everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Alpha. Thank you, Mehdi.